You said that there are these spirit guides that do help us and are with us at all times. If we had a close one who lost their life and have moved on, there seems, from what I've heard it explained a different way before, is that they're close with us within a certain amount of days, maybe a couple weeks or so, then they're gone. And then it may or may not be easy to have any sort of contact or interaction with them in any way. Do you see it that way? Like, for example, if I've lost someone and it's been a year or 2 or 5 or whatever, are they gone forever, so to speak? Or are they still a part of us? Or are they still around us? And if so, how have you been able to help people bring that sort of communication back to form?
Absolutely. So afterlife mediumship is what I would call that, right? Even as opposed to speaking with spirit guides, which is a form of mediumship. But afterlife mediumship, specifically speaking to loved ones in spirit, has completely radically changed my view of life and what happens after life. Okay, because I had my own beliefs about it. I had some, spirit guide visions about that. But when I really started consciously doing mediumship for people, I was astonished at the level of eternal connection between all of us. Because they would come through and they'd bring through other people who had passed that they had maybe had really big problems with in life. And so like I'd be reading for somebody and they'd be like, why would they come together? Like they never liked each other. And it's like, and from their perspective, they're already always connected. We're always connected now. That's how intuition works. We're just so much more aware of it once we pass. It becomes so much more clear, right? It's almost like the aperture opens a little bit. And so we are always connected. Yes, you are connected to your loved ones that you may have lost when you were a child. You're connected to your loved ones that passed maybe even just last week or last month or during this whole pandemic. They are absolutely still with us. And now there's greater and lesser levels of attention, right? So sometimes they might actually have a lot of attention on you and you can really sense them around you. And other times it's really either they don't or your attention is not. So I'd like to speak a little bit about what you were asking about, how people sometimes feel that their loved ones are around them within weeks of their passing and then they seem to move on. What I think is happening there is that when we lose somebody really close to us, we tend to get blown open in grief. And we're not in our normal state of mind. We're not in our normal state of being, and we're not in our normal lives. And that opens our awareness outside of our habitual patterns to notice things we might not have noticed before. And of course, our loved ones want to come and let us know that they're okay. And so we're more likely to perceive it then. But the reason that seems to go away is for a number of things. One, we need to move on, right? And it's more that we need to move on, more so than even the spirit needs to move on. Like they've moved, they're gone. They're not in this lifetime anymore, right? We're the ones that need to move on. And it's healthy for us to move on. And then we can create a new relationship with them in spirit that doesn't always activate that sense of loss anymore. Because even as a medium, I can tell you right now, I have grieved the loss of people that I loved, even fully well knowing that they're alive in spirit. Because it's just not the same. It's just not, right? And yet, when we connect through mediumship to our loved ones on the other side, the knowing and the level of information that comes through and that feeling of their presence being there really reminds us, and this is what I like to say about it, is that love never dies. Yeah, and that's what they come to remind us in mediumship.
No, that is really profound, actually, because I think we sometimes forget that there are the most powerful forces really when we do even experience them in our day-to-day in our human life as love,